Welcome, young heroes. Today's story is called The Little Robot Who Wouldn't Give Up. It's a tale about pressure, mistakes, and the amazing courage to try again. In the shiny town of Technovale, where everything was powered by creativity and wild imagination, lived a girl named Mira. Mira absolutely loved building things: tiny cars, colorful spinning tops, and even mini rockets that fizzled and popped. But there was one thing she loved most of all: robots. Her room was a wonderful mess of tools, wires, buttons, and half-finished inventions scattered everywhere. But Mira had one problem. Whenever exams came up in school or a big sports race was just around the corner, she felt this heavy weight of pressure. What if I make a mistake? She'd whisper to herself. What if I fail the test? What if everyone else is better than me? These thoughts worried her so much that sometimes she felt like she just wanted to stop trying altogether. One evening, while tinkering with a box of old forgotten parts, Mira accidentally created something truly special. A tiny robot, no bigger than her hand, suddenly stood up on her desk, blinked its lights and said, "Hello! I'm Tink, your helper." Tink was small, but he was buzzing with energy. His eyes glowed a friendly bright blue, and his voice sounded cheerful and full of fun. Mira couldn't help but laugh. "You're alive!" she exclaimed, surprised and delighted. Tink tilted his little metal head. "Of course. I was built from your imagination, and your courage too." Mira had a big science fair coming up. It was the most important event of the school year, and everyone in her class expected her to create something amazing. But as the day got closer, Mira felt the pressure growing stronger and stronger. Her hands would shake when she tried to work. She was so worried about making mistakes. What if my project fails in front of everyone? Then they will all laugh at me. Tink beeped softly from her shoulder. Why worry about a future that hasn't even happened yet? Mistakes don't decide your life, Mira. They're just part of the process. She shook her head, feeling overwhelmed. You don't understand, Tink. Exams, competitions, tests. What if I ruin everything with just one mistake? Tink replied with a confident whir. Then we fix it. That's what inventors do. We don't give up, we figure it out. The big day of the science fair finally arrived. The school hall was buzzing with excitement. All the students proudly showed off their inventions. There were flying drones that zoomed around, colorful slime machines that oozed and bubbled, and magnetic toys that danced in the air. Then, it was Mira's turn. She unveiled Tink, her talking robot. Gasps of excitement filled the room. Everyone was leaning forward, eager to see what he could do. But when Mira pressed the shiny power button, Tink froze. He wouldn't move. He wouldn't talk. He just stood there silent. A few students started to giggle. Some whispered, "Look, she failed." Mira's face turned bright red. Her heart sank deep into her chest. She thought to herself, I knew it. I knew this would happen. One mistake, and everything is ruined. Just then, as a tear started to roll down her cheek, she heard a tiny crackling voice from the robot. Try again. It was Tink. His light flickered weakly. He was trying to talk, even though he was glitching. Seeing her little friend still trying, even when he was broken, gave Mira a spark of hope. She wiped her eyes, took a deep breath, and opened her toolbox. She didn't panic, she just got to work. She tightened one loose wire. She adjusted one little battery. She calmly restarted Tink's system, and suddenly Tink jumped up. He started spinning and flipping in the air, his blue lights flashing brightly. The crowd gasped again, but this time, it was a gasp of total amazement. Tink then landed perfectly and spoke in a loud, clear voice. Hello, everyone. I am Tink, built by the amazing Mira, and I never give up. The judge, who had been watching closely, broke into a huge smile. And Mira smiled even wider. She realized something incredibly important in that moment. One small failure didn't decide the final result. Trying again did. A week later, Mira had her school's annual sprint race. She knew she wasn't the fastest runner. She wasn't the strongest either. But this time, she didn't fear the pressure. As she stood at the starting line, she imagined Tink cheering from the sidelines. His little voice saying, "Just run, Mira. One race doesn't choose your whole life. Just have fun." So, Mira ran. She stumbled once, losing her balance for a second. But she didn't stop. She just picked her feet up and kept going, pushing forward. She didn't win first place. She didn't even win second place. She finished somewhere in the middle of the pack. And she crossed the finish line smiling. Her teacher came over and said, "You didn't win, Mira, but you improved your time. That's fantastic." And Mira replied, feeling proud, "That's what matters to me." That evening, Tink sat on Mira's desk, his blue eyes glowing softly in the twilight. He said, "Mira, exams, tests, games, races, they're only moments. They're like little snapshots in time. They don't decide your future." Mira nodded, finally understanding. "The pressure doesn't judge your life," she said. "It only tries to scare you from trying." Tink added with a happy beep, "And you're stronger than it." From that day on, things were different for Mira. She stopped being so scared of exams. She stopped worrying about losing a game. She just tried her best and let the results happen on their own. And because of that, she became happier, calmer, and so much braver. So, for all the kids watching this right now, maybe you failed a test recently. Maybe you lost a match in your favorite sport. Maybe you just felt a lot of pressure today. But listen closely to this. One exam won't decide your life. One match won't decide your future. And one bad day will never stop you from becoming great. Keep trying. Keep improving. Keep believing in yourself. Because like Tink the little robot says, you win not when you never fail, but when you never, ever stop trying. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to keep being awesome.